What's up, everybody? My name is Kendall Mans, and this is another episode of Kendall's Vlogs number 5. These last couple of weeks have been kind of weird just because, we had spring break, so my work was a little bit scattered. But basically, the first thing I did was baseball. They played Jacksonville State. I did pretty much the same things that I always do. I set up a camera, I set up a tripod, set up a production truck, and I streamed the game. And then I broke everything down as well. It was a little different this time because I was teaching people. So one of the ways that I think it really shows your level of competency is when you can teach somebody what to do. And that's a lot of what I did, whether that was working the camera, whether that was production truck itself. I think it's always valuable to be able to use the skills that you have and to teach somebody else how to do the same thing. So baseball was a lot, but it was definitely a lot of tutelage as well that was involved there. So this past week I did a lot of things with bowling. They recently won their SWAC championship, and there was a lot of coverage for them. When they came back, I covered all of what they did when they came back. So they came back on their van, and they had like a little celebration. I'm not gonna call it a parade, but a little celebration. I worked closely with Mr. Prescott and with Khalil as far as covering that. I used the ENG, the Panasonic cameras that we have in the library, and I think the footage came out pretty good. I do think that the time of day was kind of weird because it was a little cloudy with a little bit of sun, so it was a little weird as far as the how far I opened my iris. I think that could have been a little bit better, but besides that, I felt like it was pretty good content. Then they had their NCAA selection show. That was fun for me to cover. I think one of the things that I really liked about covering that was that I was over prepared. I hadn't really, it was in the President's Suite in the Don Oliver Acadome, and I haven't really been in there, so I didn't really know what lighting to expect. But I said, okay, I'm going into an unknown environment. I want to be as prepared as possible. So I ended up bringing lights that I also got from the library, and it ended up, going really well. I was really happy with how things went, and ultimately, I think it's always a test of, okay, I know what I need to do. Am I prepared enough to do it? And I really did think that it came out really well. I got there early. I mapped everything out, and I put the lights up, and I got some really good footage of all the things that I needed to get footage of. So I was really happy with how everything came out. I'm still working on that package that I'm producing for it, but ultimately, like I said, I think it came out really well, and I'm really happy that I was over prepared for it. Again, it was a lot of editing as far as the bowling videos, because I also covered the selection show day and the celebration as social media as well. So I was doing social media, and I was doing like package type content as well, so that I basically had to multitask. And I really do think that both things came out pretty well. I ended up making a bowling video for social media, which you are going to be seeing now, and I think it came out pretty well. I had to use some footage from other places, but ultimately I think it came together pretty well. I also had softball, so softball played against Alabama A&M, and 2 days. Obviously, I've told you guys before, baseball and softball can be very, very long days, both of which they were. And softball was pretty much, I was pretty much running production for the most part. I was supposed to be taking pictures, but some things happen, SD cards get lost or whatever, stuff that's outside of my control. So what I did want to do was I wanted to be as I guess proactive as possible and still do my job the best that I could do it. I was also coaching up a lot. I had another person that hadn't really done production, didn't really know anything about softball, so I was coaching her up, trying to get her as competent as possible. And I think that it was fun, dealing with different people and trying to help coach them up and all of that type of stuff. So I had a good time with that. And ultimately, like I said, with baseball, I broke everything down, set everything up, ran production and all of that, and ended the day nicely. So I was really happy with all of that. I think this, in between the last vlog I did and this vlog, I would definitely say some of the things that I learned is just you have to be willing to adapt when things aren't going to go your way. I mean, that was true for me today. And I think when things don't go your way, oftentimes we can get discouraged. We can feel like, okay, well, if this isn't going to go right, then I'm just not going to do it. And I think you have to take everything with a grain of salt. Setbacks are going to happen. Things aren't going to go your way sometimes. And you have to be willing to adapt to your situation in order for you to be successful. And I definitely think that that's something that I did. I'm proud of the work that I put in. I'm proud of everything that I did so far. And, you know, ultimately, as I'm looking to graduate, I think those are very important skills to have as far as moving on to my future career and my next chapter in my life. So it was a very productive couple of weeks, especially in the sense of, you know, learning more about adaptability. I think that's the biggest lesson that I walked away from, was adaptability this week. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I believe I have one more vlog, one more timesheet to go. So, you know, I'm expecting a good one, and really appreciate you guys watching so far. So see you guys later, and hope y'all have a good day.